Hi guys, welcome back to In Session with Nat and Ange. Today we're going to be talking about something that has been, circulating around the Arab community, and I know a lot of people have had questions about it and they're wondering and thinking about where it may have stemmed from, but today we are going to talk about autism. I have noticed that a lot of parents have been asking, similar questions. They're asking, what's causing this? Or why is this increasing so much in our community? It seems like every other parent is having an autistic child. And I think they're curious about, what can help? Can it improve? And our goal here today is not to give you the answers because truthfully, we don't have the answers, but we can share our experiences with you because me and Angie, we both have had experience working with autistic children. We were registered behavior technicians. And with that, we really want to preface, we do not in any way, shape, or form have the authority to tell you that this is going to work because I don't know if it will. I can just give you suggestions, but we highly recommend you talk to professionals about it.
Yes.
And yeah, so I guess where we can start today is kind of addressing what autism is. So I'll give you the platform, Ange.
Thanks, Nat. So like Nat said, we are in no way, shape, or form, this is not our expertise, but we both have a background in working with children that have autism, and we both actually worked at the same exact place, which was fun. But yeah, so this is our area of expertise, but we did obviously learn a lot through our experience, and with just psychology in general, a lot of disorders you see are the neurodivergent ones, and autism is one of those disorders. Autism is called the autism spectrum disorder, and it is what the name is. Autism is a spectrum of things, not things, I would say severity levels. So you have anywhere from a very high functioning child or person with autism. So that means, maybe you can't see it right away, you can't sense it right away because they are, able to do everyday tasks. They are verbal. They, don't have big tantrums. So it's a little bit harder to spot. And then you have a little bit lower functioning people with autism. So that usually looks like nonverbal, very intense, heightened emotions all the time, very unregulated when it comes to their emotions, sensory motor issues. That's what that looks like. And typically with autism, it's a little bit easier to diagnose at around, I want to say 3-4 toddler stages. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it's easier to diagnose then because then it's you're getting a grasp of their development. And a lot of it, can be seen through there's a delay in development. Yes. There's low speech or there's no speech going on at appropriate ages or milestones. There's a harder time learning how to, use your motor skills. And so a lot of what I see is these kids are kind of in multiple therapies, not just one.
Yes.
Usually the therapy for it is called ABA, which I highly recommend.
Yes. Applied behavioral analysis.
Yeah.
Yes.
But others do OT therapy or speech therapy, and that can help as well.
Of course, definitely. Because again, it ranges and there's a variety of what the person needs, and with autism, it's basically a developmental issue is what it is. You are born with it. It doesn't just happen. So you don't, you're not born neurotypical and then one day you have autism. That's not how it works.
It's not a flu.
It's not a flu. It's not caused by the vaccines. But yeah, basically it is a developmental, underdeveloped brain situation going on can't word my words. So like your amygdala, for example, is altered. Like that is your emotions, where you process your emotions. So because that's altered, that's why you see a lot of like heightened emotions with children that have autism, and they don't know how to regulate, and things feel more dramatic in their brain than it does for you and me, maybe. And obviously your prefrontal cortex as well, that's responsible for decision making. So that is also altered with people that have autism, because it's underdeveloped. And then, so I'm trying to like word my words correctly, but sometimes when your emotions get heightened, kids with autism will, throw things or get a little bit physical, get a little bit violent.
I've had my
little
fair share of
aggressive. Yeah,
experiences.
same. I
got
definitely have
punched
to.
in the face.
I got
one
bit.
time. You got bit?
I would always get bit on like my thigh by my kiddo. He was so cute.
I had it was like a shelf of toys just get thrown to
thrown
the
at
ground.
you. Ouch.
I dodged it. It's fine. I'm fine.
Good. Thank God. But yeah, so it's like their decision making isn't like fully developed. So that's just a little background on what autism is and what it looks like, and
some of the symptoms that like I see recurring, and like they have like recurring symptoms is like repetitive behaviors, a lot of stimming I see in autistic children.
Can you explain what stimming is to the viewers?
How do I explain what stimming is? Like flapping of hands. Sometimes maybe there's like a motor like thing that happens where they're like their head just kind of like how do I word it? Spasms?
Kind of. It's like when they're so full of emotion and they don't know how to communicate or express what they're feeling, or it's kind of like a coping.
It is a coping.
Right?
I feel like they're trying to self-regulate.
Yes.
So they do certain behaviors to regulate in that sense. A lot of other things is social communication. And this is something I really want to preface that, like, I feel like growing up, maybe autistic children might seem as, like, the weird kids or, like, this, and that. But, like, the case is that their brain just operates differently. It functions differently. And the way they receive information is, like, if you're telling me, like, a joke per se, I might not pick up on your social cues to register that if that was a joke or if you were being serious.
Right.
I literally had a kid one time and he was like so funny. Anyway, he was in karate.
Okay.
This kid kind of did a karate move at him, not hitting him, but he just like ha. And then the kid, he was like he took it as like or no, I think the other kid was like, "Oh, I'm going to karate chop you."
Oh no.
So then the other kid was like, "Oh no, I have to go into self-defense. He said he's going to karate chop me." And then just like, bah! And then, obviously he got in trouble for that because you can't hit another kid. But then we were talking about it in session and we were like, and I was like, "What, what's up? Like what happened?" And he was just like, "You can't joke with me about these things. Like, I know how my brain works. Joking or not, I can't register that as like a joke.
Right.
If you tell me like I'm gonna karate chop you, I'm karate chopping you back." And I was like, "Fair."
You know what? You're right.
Fair.
Like he is.
Yeah. But I just told that story just to give a sense of like, they experience the world through a different lens.
Yes.
And I want to raise awareness and more understanding for that.
I agree.
So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to kind of see.
Yeah.
No, or also, if you see your child, like there's a lack of imaginary play. I see that as well with autistic kids, and they like to kind of play alone. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember in Invo, we always did like something called parallel play.
Yes.
Where we're easing them into kind of playing with other kids, but like they can just have their separate toys and sit next to each other. And that's kind of like the first step into shaping actual human interaction.
That is
and
so
play.
true. Yeah, that is so true. They do tend to stick to themselves, and usually the toys that they play with are like the same toys all the time. It's like they love the same things. And there's like obsessions with things I see with a lot of kids that have autism. It's like whether it's like a certain
Yeah.
character or a certain object or sound, you know, they become fixated on it because in one way, shape, or form, it like brings them some of that peace and that
Hmm.
stability. So they like stick to it. That's
Oh,
another
I
thing I
never
see.
even processed it like that, like a sense of peace and stability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like sticking to like my same thing. I don't know. I think that's my take on why. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that's exactly why they do.
It was
But
it
I know
was
there
cute.
are.
Yeah. I had a client when I was in ABA.
Mhm.
He looked exactly, and I'm telling you exactly like the little kid in the Polar Express. And his like favorite thing.
I know you don't say it out loud, but I know who you're talking about.
No, this is in my other
Oh,
practice.
I thought it was the one that we had the shared sibling. Remember when you had a sibling and I had a sibling?
Oh, they're so cute. I love
He's
them.
the one that bit me.
He's the one that punched
The
me.
little one.
No, the older one.
Oh,
The little one used to bite me a lot.
yeah.
But
Oh, I
anyways.
miss that.
No, but there's this other kid that I used to work with.
Mhm.
He looked exactly like the guy from the Polar Express, and his like favorite thing was the Polar Express or trains.
No
Like
way.
and like he was born on Christmas. And I was like, did you just come out of the movie?
Polar Express?
Crazy.
That's insane.
I was like, wow, that's insane. Yeah, but that was his thing. Like I see that with a lot of them. It's like they focus on one thing and then that's like, I love this. I love this. It's like a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of ways to kind of distinguish.
Oh yeah, and then there's also when children are toddlers, sometimes it's hard. I feel like to recognize when it's autism and when it's like, you know,
Just developmental
late develop.
delays.
Yeah, exactly. So like a lot of people are saying what's it called? Like researchers say when if you see your child like walking around on their tippy toes a lot, and if they like stay on their tippy toes, that's like one form of like you know,
Mhm.
okay, like maybe there's something going on. And I think the biggest and most important thing is the emotional regulation because
For
kids
sure.
tantrum, yes, but meltdowns with children that have autism look a lot different.
Much different.
Yeah. So I think, and as a parent, I think you would eventually be able to be like, okay, like something's going on here.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think another big thing, and this is something I want to preface because I think it's very misunderstood. They have sensory needs or sensory issues going on. So a lot of times, like if they are having a meltdown, it's probably a response to like, hey, there's a sensory issue here.
Yes.
Like I know some kids where they have a sensitivity to sound.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes they'll just start like full on tantrum and we're not understanding, but then they will say like sound and then it's just
or like cover their
ears and it's like, you know, some people might misunderstand that as like, oh, you're just being over dramatic or this and that, but like no, like it's the actual issue that they deeply have, like that they go through, and it's very uncomfortable and it's painful
and it's scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
It's scary for a kid not knowing like how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and I don't know how to express it, and I don't know how to tell my mom or dad or whoever's around to help me. Like I don't know how to express that. Like it's very, very scary for them, for sure.
It breaks my heart. Oh my gosh. I actually, so my whole thing with autism, it started when I was in middle school. I literally, my English teacher, she took half the school year to just teach us about autism.
Really?
She was my English teacher and she made us read this book. It's called The Curious Dog in the Nighttime, I believe. I don't know if you've ever read it.
No.
But it's a book about the inner thoughts of an autistic person and like what they how they experience life, what they're going through in life.
That's so cool.
I don't, like that whole semester I was like, I am so deeply like invested in this, where other people are like, why are we learning about this, where I don't know, I was just amazed and captured because that book was so detailed, and I remember feeling, I was like, man, like they really go through life like this.
Do you remember something that like really caught your attention or caught you by surprise or stuck with you from like reading that book?
It's just I think it's just the thought process of like how they maneuvered
Really?
everything. It was
Yeah.
just like, I remember they were like at a train station or something like that. And they were just having a million thoughts at the same time. And it almost like, it became overwhelming for the reader of like, wow, there's a lot going on here that we
Yeah.
don't even know. But like on the outside perspective, we're not in someone's head.
Right.
The outside perspective, it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, why are you acting like that? Why are you putting on this like whole like tantrum? Well, it's just like, they're going through something. And I really want to preface that, like, to parents out there who are like, not understanding, or not understanding, who are probably going through the new thing of like, oh, I have an autistic child, I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
I would say stop focusing on fixing your child and start focusing on understanding your child. Because I really believe that's where growth can happen. If you want to provide the utmost care for that child, then provide the love and understanding, because that's what's going to help you realize like, okay, wait, this is not what he needs. He doesn't need my discipline and my harsh rules. He needs this. Because I understand you. I understand where you're coming from. You're getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So you need to feel regulated.
Yeah.
So let me regulate with you.
That's so beautiful, Nat. I love that. Can we
Yeah.
clip that? That was really, really good. Because, yeah, I think it's obviously scary for parents to get that diagnosis that their child has autism, right? Because it's new for them, and it's like I never imagined this for my life. I never imagined this for my child. And I don't know how to deal with it, and I don't know what it is. And so it's scary. But to piggyback off of what you were saying, it really is about supporting and not fixing, and they're knowing that there's nothing to fix. Like, this is just how this beautiful child was born, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, and they just need that love and support. And I think one way parents can start is by learning about it, like do your research, ask questions, ask your doctors, read about what autism is, what it looks like, learn about your child's autism and what they need specifically, because again, like we said, it ranges and everyone's different. So definitely start by like learning about it and accepting it. I think that's another thing I want to say here. Again, I know it's hard and it's scary. And I think this can bring me into the next point I really wanted to talk about, which was, like the way it's viewed in Arab society of what autism is. I hear about a lot of parents that feel shame, or a little embarrassment, or they don't want to admit it, which is totally like their right, completely. But this is why I say, like, there is nothing to be embarrassed about. There is nothing to be hiding from. I think it's important for other people to also know what's going on so that they can help as much as they can help, So, like, for example, if I see a child like tantruming and I didn't know anything about autism, not tantruming, but like having a meltdown because they're overwhelmed and very anxious and, emotions are heightened, I may be like, okay, like I don't know how to help. I don't know what this, like, I may be treating this situation as best as I think I know, but I have no idea. Like, I don't know. So it's important to, I think, tell and educate the people around you so that they also know how to help you best in certain situations, because it can be overwhelming for a parent. It can be very lonely too. I can only imagine that if like you're holding on to this and you're dealing with this, and yeah, sure, you may have your partner. Yeah, sure, you may have the siblings, but it's still, I'm sure, very, very a lonely feeling. And so, one, you're not alone. Two, you didn't do anything wrong, and there is nothing wrong with your child. It is absolutely normal, and they are perfect and pure and beautiful and just everything. And three, there are so many tools and resources out there to help you and help your child. ABA therapy, obviously we talked about it earlier, like Nat said, OT, if, the motor skills are also
Yeah.
underdeveloped, then you have your speech therapy. If their language isn't where it needs
Yeah.
to be at their age, like there's a lot.
Something else I would love to suggest, and like again, every case is different, but like I would really recommend to get genetic testing done, because I really do feel like there are certain connections between the gut and the brain health, and like maybe genetic testing can help you figure out kind of what's going on internally as well and not just externally. So like with ABA, it's going to help a lot with
Like daily functioning.
It's going to help with that, and it's going to help like teaching things outwardly, but you also should look twofold. You should look outwardly and work to manage situations, but also look internally and see like, okay, well, what can I, manage here to help assist in brain functioning and brain health? Because if essentially it's an underdeveloped brain that we want to learn how to work and manage with it.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Yeah.
I don't
think anyone ever talks I don't think anyone ever talks about that part. Like I hear all the time about ABA and OT and PT and all of that, but genetic testing and like really like looking at like the connection between your brain and your gut. Like I never thought of it that way.
And obviously like we don't know all the research, but like research does come out, and I would love to have like a series where we like kind of provide more research and evidence that comes out as we go, because there are so many different things. And I have a theory. Obviously, okay, let me just preface to Arabs, because they don't know anything about this topic. They're like, I think they're all asking, where did this come from? What is happening? Why is it increasing in our community? We've never had this before. Okay, I hear you and I understand. I definitely like I'm concerned too. Not concerned, but like I'm like wondering why myself.
You're curious. Yeah.
I'm curious. But like maybe sometimes like we weren't diagnosing the same way we're diagnosing now. So it's just like it's becoming more outward, it's becoming more apparent. But then the other part is also it's a spectrum. Everyone is different. There is a genetic component, and that's the one thing I've seen consistent each and every single time. Every client that comes in and does like an intake form, if they have autism, like 9 times out of 10, someone in the family has autism as well.
Right.
So there is a genetic component. It's in us. So that's why I say have genetic testing done, because in that way you can see like, is it environment triggering the genetic I have internally? Is it just like my genetics are this? Like there's so many different ways to think about it and go about it, and like what is maybe true for one person might not be true for the other autistic person. Like I don't know. But I think it's worth exploring, because we get more research out of that, and we get to find different ways. I think the one thing that I've been seeing that's helping some people, because it might not help other, is leucovorin. I just wanted to pick your brain and see if you've heard of it.
No, what is that?
So,
leucovorin?
Yeah, it's like a drug. I think it's pretty new.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's helping autistic children get to development faster. So like when some autistic kids will take leucovorin, they'll be able to speak, like they start to speak at a faster rate. Like instead of, the prolonged delay, it helps increase that. And I was like reading up about it, and apparently it has something to do with like folate. Now I'm going to look it up because I don't want to give false information.
That's so interesting. I've literally never heard of that.
Yeah.
And I have so many questions. Like
So some research have said that like they've discovered that some autistic children have something called folate receptor autoantibodies, which may interfere with folate transport to the brain. So what happens is leucovorin is a folinic acid, and it's been showing like promising results of like being able to help in that delivering of the folate
That's so
the folate
interesting.
to the brain.
Is this just this, like, a clinical study, or is it out on the market now?
Leucovorin?
The drug, yeah.
Oh no, it's out in the market.
And what?
Yeah.
That's so, I've never heard of it.
But again, I don't think it's going to work for everyone because I think, again, it's a
Everyone's
genetic
different,
thing.
of course.
Everyone's different.
And it probably depends on how, like, where on the spectrum you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how severe the symptoms are.
For sure. Yeah. So I think it's different amongst all people and things.
For sure.
But yeah, considering like why I say that and why I mention that is because I think the Arab population is so undereducated on this type of thing because it's so would you say it's stigmatized?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like it's so stigmatized, or just like it feels very foreign to them.
Yeah, and it feels very foreign, which is so valid, and it's stigmatized because they see not just Arabs. I think a lot of people actually see autism as like it all looks like this. Like if you're socially awkward, if you have some routines in your life that you can't let go of, if you're obsessed with a couple things, then automatically you have autism. And it's like, ugh, that's a stereotype. Like there's so many different versions to it. Yeah. And what I love, have you ever watched Love on the Spectrum?
No, but I want to.
I love that show. I love that show. But it's such a beautiful representation of how capable and able people with autism are. And this show can show the different kinds of autism. Like, I just love it because for the most part, they're all pretty high functioning, you know. They all have high functioning autism, but their personalities are so different and their strengths are so different and their weaknesses are so different, you know. So it's such a beautiful way to like show the different versions of what autism can look like and what it can look like with what's the word, like awareness, paid attention to it, and like parents like taking the time to like making sure they're getting the right help and like for their kids and making sure they're on it, because it really, like, again, it doesn't go away. It's not like autism is something that can go away, but like there are things you can do to help develop, to help, you know, teach your child how to like do day-to-day tasks, you know. Because sometimes like those things are not taught with, again,
that's true,
kids that have autism. And so like, okay, you're learning at, you know, 15 how to like brush your teeth and how to, you know, so things like that. But I just love that show so much. I'm so obsessed with that show.
I'm definitely gonna give it a watch.
It's such a feel-good show, and they're just like beautiful, amazing. And
I love that light that they give to the population. I think it's something we really do need in our community as well, is to like not have it be such a thing as like, oh, like what is this, or like, oh, this and that. More so like, hey, this is a population that exists and that's requiring a bit of our attention right now, and you know, we need to learn how to all work and manage what is being presented, and not give them the side eye or the you are, you know, like ostracizing them or not treating them as equal human beings, because
I think that's absolutely disgusting. And whoever,
I agree.
Like if that is actually happening, get me out of this community. I'm not kidding.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's actually happening. I'm just saying like, you know how Arabs think sometimes.
Of course.
It's like, you're different, I don't want to be around you.
Right.
Or like when they think like some things are so foreign, I think they just like feel like, oh, like I'm uncomfortable with this feeling. And it's just like, I want to help people realize that you can sit in the uncomfort, you can be uncomfortable, but you can also learn how to be a civil and respectful human being and help another person as well. But a lot of this, I know we're running out of time, but I do want to preface, I want to give like some kind of helpful tip or tool of like for parents who are going through it, and like what they can, you know, utilize or manage or do in the home that can help with, let's say, like tantrums or or regulating behavior or something like
Yeah.
that. And I know we've both experienced this in our own practice. So, what would you say is something that you have experienced with, your time working with autistic children?
Um, so one thing I've heard a lot, and I don't know if I've said it on this podcast before, when we were talking about when we did the episode for parents and like their kids and parenting. But I hear a lot therapists and BCBAs saying all feelings are welcome, all behaviors are not. And I love that saying, and I think that is something that I've seen a lot when I worked with kids that have autism, is that we were there to sit with them in their feelings. We were there to name their feelings. So like I remember we would say, like, let's say we obviously see why they're upset. Let's say, playtime was over, and they have a task they have to do and they don't want to do it. And there's crying, there's kicking, there's screaming, whatever the tantrum is. And then we would sit there and we would name that emotion that they're feeling. So we'd say, I see that you're very upset that we can't continue playtime right now. So that, for one, helps them put a name to what they're feeling. So if they are verbal, they can use it for next time they're feeling that same emotion. But we cannot continue playtime, and this is what we can do instead, and giving them that option, giving them that next thing, Also, they're very big on like reward systems.
Oh, yeah. Rewards, not consequences. We never used consequences, but it was very much like rewards and like removal of an item. Yes. What was that called?
There was a
positive and negative reinforcement.
Positive and negative reinforcement, but the reward system had a name to it.
A token system.
Token
economy?
Token system.
Yeah, token system.
Token system. Yeah, we'd use a token system. So like let's say we're teaching a certain skill, and they really want for the reward playtime. So if you get 5 stars, then guess what? We go do playtime for 20 minutes. Exactly. We come back, we repeat. So then when they have that tantrum after playtime, it's like, okay, buddy, I know that you're feeling really upset right now. You seem very frustrated, and I hear you. I see you. But if we want to do playtime, we're going to have to get through these stickers. You're going to have to get, so it's just like still not ignoring what they're doing, not ignoring how they're feeling, being there for them, but not backing down on what's required. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, like why we name feelings, because I think it helps a person regulate when they feel understood. It helps them feel like seen, feel heard, and like acknowledged, but also like we have a task to get done and we need to get that done.
Yes. Yeah.
And
what would you say?
Also, like going off of like the token systems, I always loved how they like the BCBAs used to create their token boards according to the interests of the client.
Yeah.
It almost is like they're connecting their interests to this thing that they have to do, but it's just like they're including it in. Like they're giving them that, I don't know, like here, focus your attention on this.
Right.
It's like not joint attention, but they're focusing their attention on the things that they love, but using it as a way to do the tasks.
Yes,
get the work done.
Exactly. And what I loved about this is another thing for you parents out there. If you do take your child to places that, offer ABA therapy, one thing that is amazing and will help more than anything is the BCBAs there. So those are the BCBAs.
Behavior.
Oh, board certified behavior analysis.
There you go.
That's what it is. Anyway, they will meet with you and have like parent meetings to, kind of like, hey, this is what needs to be done in the house. This is what you can do to help us. So you're not in it alone. You have the BCBAs there working with you, telling you what needs to change in the house, giving you some tips and tools and techniques, how to reinforce positive behaviors and how to not give in to the negative ones.
also how to regulate emotions.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. Like from my experience, I remember two specific clients, they would have huge outbursts. I think we used to have the same one. She was the cutest little girl.
Oh my
I
gosh,
know, you remember her?
with her
Any-
like little
yeah,
hair and
the
her
little hair. She's so cute. But anyways, she would
Aw.
have meltdowns when too much noise starts to happen.
Yeah.
And she would just lose it. She would start screaming and crying. And I remember they taught me like how to regulate her. And a lot of it is like, you know, first of all, you cannot regulate a child by screaming at them. That's one thing. You cannot do that because you need to regulate yourself first so you can regulate the child. Like we kind of said before, like I need to put my mask on first to be able to put the mask on my child.
Yeah.
So what I would do is they would tell me, hold her hands, tell her, all right, calm body, calm hands, hold her hands, and then have her count 1 through 10 and count with her. So we would count 1 through 10, and then we would count back. And it's just like we just use different grounding techniques. Like everybody would be different.
Yeah.
Another client I had was like, you know, I would literally like have to, he was a bigger kid and he was like pretty aggressive. So I
The
would
one that
need,
was obsessed with the swing, that he would just like go on the swing, because I think we have the same
No.
one. No.
this is in my other practice.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I keep thinking we had. Okay.
Yeah. But no, he would like he was the one who did the whole bookshelf thing fall
Oh.
down. But anyways, not my trauma. We're not talking about my trauma.
Mhm.
We're just talking about the what we used to do to regulate him. We'd sit him down in a chair and we'd have him put his feet together, and again, I'd hold his hand. I loved to hold their hands for some reason because I just felt like I could transfer my calmness to their
Yeah. Aw.
that has no clinical evidence behind it, but I just felt like it
Yeah.
always calmed someone when you hold their hand.
I think I think that there is some sort of like magic behind that, like genuinely.
maybe there is.
Yeah,
That's just what I
'cause
used to do to all these
for
kids.
sure, and they model what you present too.
That I
know?
believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would hold their hands, and again, we'd count to 10, and then we'd take 3 deep breaths, and then we'd count back to 10. So that's a technique whoever is struggling right now can try to just help them regulate it first. But then the other thing I would say is take data. It's
Yeah.
called ABC data collection. You are recording the instances of a tantrum, and like this is what happened right before on this day. This is how I reacted to the situation, and this is what the child reacted back. That data will show you a lot because it'll show you the function, the function of behavior,
The pattern. The pattern.
the pattern of behavior, or
The
no, not,
antecedent behavior consequence.
yeah,
Right. Yeah. The pattern of the behavior, like
is
where
it function? No, that doesn't make any sense. The cause of behavior.
the cause.
There,
Yeah.
the cause of behavior.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So remember
Yeah.
there were like four things like of where the child might be stemming from, like coming from. Like it's either their oh my gosh, I'm losing my memory. Like sometimes it's like they want a certain thing, or like
Yeah.
they want to
Mhm.
have an item, they want a reward. Sometimes it's like a sensory
Or
need.
something gotten taken away from them.
Something gotten taken
Yeah.
away. Sometimes it's a sensory need.
Yeah.
It's like we have to recognize where this is coming from in order for us to provide the measures that are
Yeah.
needed to help the situation.
And so that we're not reinforcing the wrong behaviors.
For
you know,
sure.
because I think that easily can happen as well if we don't know where why the behavior is happening, or like what the antecedent, what the
Yeah.
cause is before to be ordered to stop it. So if we don't know, we could be accidentally reinforcing it and have no idea.
Yeah.
So but that's a really good point. Yeah.
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 But yeah, I would just say, you know, take the time to research, you know, the
Yeah.
different options to help your kid, because ABA might work for some kids, it might not. I do feel like there's lots of benefits, and I've seen children literally like do so much better in a span of like 3 months.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
it takes time.
It takes time.
No, it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
There's no cure that just is presented. It takes time.
And one thing I also really learned about working with kids that have autism, it's a obviously it's not linear. So you're going to have your times where it's like, "Oh, this negative behavior is decreasing. This is great. This is great." And then another behavior pops up, and then another behavior pops up. And so it it it's a lifelong thing, you know? And I think I'm not saying ABA is lifelong, but autism is. And so being patient is very, very, very important here. And like Nat said, ABA has been so beneficial to so many people, and it's worked for a lot. It might not work for everyone, but I still would say it's better than nothing, you know? And
I agree.
you know, might as well try it and ask the questions. Like, it's okay. Ask the questions, get the information, learn about it. I really do believe the more you learn about something, the less you fear it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Clip
I've heard
that.
that once before, and that like always stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't be ashamed of it.
Mm-mm.
Having an autistic child is nothing to be ashamed about. Being autistic is nothing to be ashamed about.
Not at all.
You are a human soul created in the image and likeness of God. And like, I know some of y'all aren't believers, but I am. And the way I see it is like everyone is made in his image.
Yeah. And you're beautiful and you're
that is
perfect exactly the way
precious.
you are. And I love that.
I love them.
I
I've
really
had
do.
some of my greatest memories
Swear.
working with autistic children.
I swear.
I really have.
My entire like life, I knew I wanted to be a therapist, right? Like literally my entire life. I'm like, since I was 15, I was like, I'm going to be a therapist. I don't know. It's the one thing in my life that I've always been sure of, that. When I got my internship at the center that we worked at with kids that have autism, I swear, you guys, for like, I think I was there for like a year or something. I was like, should I switch? Like, I really was considering switching careers to becoming a BCBA because of how much I loved
so
it.
Bad.
And how rewarding the job was and how beautiful they were. Like, they were my joy going into work, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, obviously you have days where the biting is not fun. When I was I had a child just like scream in my face for 5 minutes and I had to just like sit there and not give a reaction. Like, of course there are days that are not fun, but they're just the most beautiful, precious people on the planet, and they deserve all the love and protection, and they deserve to be understood and people to be patient with them. They're humans at the end of the day. We all are.
Working with it was honestly the biggest privilege of my life because it was so rewarding to see someone grow. That is the reward. And if you're a parent struggling out there feeling like, did I do something wrong? Or like, is this a punishment? That it's not a punishment, because there is so much reward in that place of you're able to recognize that I am someone who can help someone who's a little underprivileged than I am. And I am someone who can provide that for you. And there's reward in me seeing your growth as a human being. And I love that. It's till this day the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And it taught me so much about me and my ability to endure and be patient. And those are such good skills that come out from being around that population. And it's just, there's so much beauty in it. And
so much beauty.
Yeah,
I agree.
We just wanted to raise that awareness. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions about it, we'd be happy to answer it. Yeah. Again, we are not like experts by any means, but we've had experiences and clinical practice in some sense of working with this population. It's a joy, and I enjoy it a lot. And I hope that one day I'll cross with that population again and we'll be able to help.
Me too.
In that aspect. So
we hope you guys enjoyed and you got something out of this. And like I said, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, or just give us a call or whatever you guys need. Thank you for watching.